Guys, welcome to Daily Refinement. In today's video, we're going to do a live Q&A on why I think resellers don't reach $100 a day profit. So I appreciate you guys stopping by. Again, today's topic is why I think most resellers do not earn $100 a day profit, and why I think that's important. Because when you are reselling, there's a lot to think about. You carry this big burden on your shoulders because you're running your own business. You're responsible for everything from taxes, the bookkeeping, the listing, the photos. You're responsible for everything. So I think you should make at least $100 a day profit. That's just my opinion. So let me know in the comment section below what you think. But making a little money here and there, I feel like might not be worth this much effort. There's other ways to earn money that I feel like are easier if you're just trying to make a couple $100. We were just looking up, different ways to earn money, and maybe even like donating blood would be better than just selling 2 items here or there, because you still need to do photos, customer service, listing, and your taxes. So it's kind of easier to just get a part-time job or a little side gig, maybe driving Uber or Uber Eats or DoorDash. If you're trying to make less than $100 a day, I don't know if reselling is the right gig. But I came up with 6 different reasons why people can't get to 100, and maybe let me know in the comment section below if any of these apply to you, or if you have a different reason. So number one, I would say, is probably isolation. I would say is one of the largest reasons people don't get to $100 a day, because you don't know anyone around you that's doing it. You don't have any friends that resell. You're not in any groups that people resell. So you have no idea how to even do it. So being by yourself is not the right atmosphere to create that. It would be easier actually to intern. So if you help somebody who's already a successful reseller, you can see what they do, arrange your processes like theirs. You could join a group like ours. You could do something where you're actually modeling how somebody else does it. That would be much easier than you working in isolation. That does not work. You would not learn how to do it from just watching. Watching YouTubers resell has nothing to do really with reselling in person. So you need to get around people that actually do it. Number 2 would be, I got this from Dan Kennedy. He calls these INIs, ignorant negative influences. So this could be people around you that don't really know what you're going through. And here's the thing though, why would they know what you're going through? Most people have no idea what their significant other does at work, right? And your friends and family, you don't know that much about their job. Why would they know a lot about your job? And if you tell people that you resell on the side whenever you feel like you make a little extra money, that doesn't sound like a job that people would respect. It's not the same as saying, oh, I sell around 20 items a day and I do it between 8 in the morning till noon every day. So I have a 4-hour side gig. I make my $150, $120, and I do that every single morning. I've been doing that for a couple of years. That's very different than I just resell on the side randomly. What do you sell? Whatever I can make a profit on. That doesn't sound like a real job. So the ignorant negative influences, a lot of people get dragged down by people not understanding what they do. And I think that you actually attract this into your life if you don't have systems or processes. Like I personally don't have that many ignorant negative influences. I don't. So most people are the opposite. Most people are cheering me on, they're positive, and most people they actually are the opposite. They want to learn how to do it. I don't have this negative influence around me, but maybe people in the chat do. Do we have questions already?
Slowly. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, everybody.
Ask some questions in the chat. Let's see. Oh, go ahead.
Okay, number 3 would be insufficient reasons to do it. So like, that's why I don't feel like under $100 profit a day is a good enough reason to do it, because like $3,000 a month is life-changing for a lot of families. So if one person is making a full-time living and then the other person comes in, throws on $3,000 profit on top of that, that's a game changer for most people. It's exciting. So, but if it's like, I'm gonna work every single evening while we're with our family, instead of being at the dinner table, I'm gonna be on my phone. I'm on Saturdays, instead of going to the park, I'm gonna go to garage sales. On Sunday, instead of going to church, I'm gonna take photos and list. But I'm only hoping to make like $200 a month. That's not sufficient to get you through all the work. So in my opinion, insufficient reasons means your goal is not exciting. So I think that when people say do what you're passionate about, I think it has to be exciting. It can't just be I like to draw and sometimes I like to doodle. That's like not a real reason to consistently do it. If you like to draw and you do it here and there, then you can just do it here and there. You do it whenever you want. It's fun. It's not going to be an exciting goal that would cause you to draw every single day, right? And to make a consistent reselling income, you want to be consistent so that eBay or Poshmark or Amazon can give you a consistent amount of traffic. You have to be consistent. So number 4 rather would be having insufficient reasons. So let me know if any of these ring a bell. Number 5 would be no confidence in yourself. I feel like that comes from not doing enough repetitions of it. So whenever I'm trying something new, I don't have any confidence in it because I've never done it before. So I think people underestimate how difficult it is to get anything off the ground. Any new habit is literally life-changing. So anything you can add to your life, like consistently eating better, consistently exercising, consistently listing, consistently photographing, all that stuff has a huge effect on your life. So don't take it lightly and don't be like, oh, I can't believe I can't do it yet, because you just started.
Yeah, patience with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Lee has a question. What's
Yep.
the order of custom Skew in your items?
So for me, the custom SKU, I just put the number, so 1 through infinity. So I just put the custom SKU of where it is in my inventory system. So right now on the front of this jacket, it says the number 1000. So my custom SKU would just be 1000, 1001, 1002. I personally don't add the date in because when you launch a listing on eBay or any platform, it already has the start date. So it tells you when you launch it. I don't add in the cost of goods because I use the fixed price for my cost of goods calculation. So let's say I spend $1,000 this month on goods and I bought 250 items. That's $4 a piece. So I use $4 a piece as my average. Some people though, if you're buying or just starting, you might want to put 1000 is your inventory SKU. You might want to put the date that you bought it. You might want to put how much you paid for it. You might want to put where you bought it from to give you more information when you're looking at offers. So some people do that, but I think you should spend more time researching the item than getting a fancy custom SKU. Custom SKU should just be where it is, in my opinion.
Commenting on your points, Rebecca says, surround yourself with those you want to be like.
Yeah, much easier if you want to get fit to surround yourself with fit people. If you want to be a reseller, surround yourself with resellers who have no problem hitting their listing goal. There's a lot of Facebook groups that everyone talks about how they can't hit their listing group. I want to stay as far away from that as possible because if you can't hit your listing goal, I don't want that to rub off on me. And I don't know if is that rude, but I just don't. If you have trouble reaching your goals, I think by being around you, it makes it harder for me to reach my own personal goals. And when I don't know, maybe that's a cold way of looking at it, but I just feel like, misery loves company, and I think that achievement also likes company. So just pick the people, you can pick the people around you.
Alex Great says, is selling few generic products for volume better than selling a lot of single items?
Usually not. Generic items usually get at most $1 to $10 profit, and the price degrades over time. So you might get lucky and find a product that makes $10 profit, but then more people find it. It's down to $3 profit, down to $1 profit, down to 25 cents profit. Now no one will buy it. Now people are selling it at a loss just to get traffic and velocity. I don't recommend selling generic items ever. So no generic items on this channel. There are other channels that talk about Alibaba and doing your own paid advertising to get people to your website. That's different. It requires more capital, and it's not what this channel is about. This channel is about reselling unique items that you find that have less competition. The generic items, like trying to compete against Costco selling bottled water for 25 cents is really difficult.
Kelly Leverage says, I'm having the hardest time making $100 a month. I'm completely by myself and it's hard, and I always have to keep lowering my prices to hardly nothing before something sells.
Yeah, that's a good point. Next week, we're going to talk about how to hire help with no money, because that's where a lot of people are at. And you're in this situation right now where you're not spending enough time researching your items. If you have items that you need to continuously lower the price, then you've picked up the wrong item to begin with. It's too generic, and that business model doesn't work. If you have all items in your store that are $20 and less, it doesn't work, especially if you have best offer. So you need items that sell for $25 or more when you're just starting. When you get bigger and you have staff and you have help and you have a warehouse, sure, you can pick up items that sell for less than $25. In the beginning, though, it's very hard unless you sell. The one exception to the rule would be you sell only first class mail, right? So like you can get a little bit cheaper because your average shipping cost is $4 or $5 instead of 8 to 10. You can lower it from that 25 threshold. The other way to do it would be if you have a fast sell-through rate. Okay, and since your items don't sell very quickly, then you cannot choose that model of cheap. You have to choose the expensive small store, 99% of your time shopping. Like if you listed a Rolex for 50% off, you wouldn't have to lower your price. It would sell. So your problem is the items that you're putting in your store are way too cheap, or you're getting them for free, or you're listing from a death pile things that are out of style. So just have to be careful when you're just starting small and expensive, and as you scale, that's when the ASP can drop. So if you don't have help, don't pick up items like that.
Andre says, how much is your average buying clothing?
$4. So my average cost to buy an item is 4, and then my average sale price right now, including shipping, is 27. But that's because of an unfair advantage on whatnot. Because I have the me talking about it and also the audience. When I was on eBay, it was $24. So $4 in, $24 out. You also have to pick an ASP that's reasonable. So like, yeah, over the weekend while I was looking for items, I found 300 items that are over $30. That's what they normally sell for, but that's not what I'm gonna ask. If that sounds like, maybe the average of the items that I picked up was $35. I'm only expecting $24. So I think a lot of people, they buy an item that normally sells for 100 and they expect 100. I definitely do not. I think that is a big problem with resellers is they hope to get all the money, and that's not a realistic way to look at this type of business, which reselling is more related to the salvage business, where like something is written off for insurance and thrown away, and then people come in and get as much money as they can. Or a store is going out of business and they go in there and they figure out how to get as much money as they can. That's reselling is more like that than like a retail shop where you bring things in, make them look nice and sell them for a premium. That's not really what reselling looks like.
The Northman says, what's the best-selling men's brand/jeans sizes, and what's the average selling price?
That is not a good question to ask because it's always going to be changing. So that's a super lazy question, and it's going to change literally every day. So it depends on what the customer is willing to pay for it. Because if I told you only buy Fear of God jeans, size 34 by 34, how are you going to find that? It doesn't make sense, right? So that's a super duper ridiculously lazy question because it doesn't work that way. Like, if you want that, you have to get a job. So anyone that says, please give me the brand list and what to do, you will 100% fail at reselling. It's way too hard. There's so much nuance. This one is worth a little bit more. This one's not. This exact same brand doesn't sell. This exact same brand with this does sell. This crappy brand sells really well, but only at this price. There's too many things like that. So like if you need, how much do I pay? How much does this sell for? What is the brand? You cannot be a reseller. Please save your time. Not to be rude, but this is the wrong industry because it requires more finesse. Just don't assume there's an answer like that. So if I'm teaching you guys anything, it's what I'm giving you right now is the ability to be resilient. You find something and you learn how to make it work. That's the whole premise of this channel. Like, it's not about shortcuts. No more shortcuts. Shortcuts is a terrible way of thinking. Like, that is very, 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 very contagious. If you say, oh, can you just give me the best items to sell? Everyone jumps in, me too, I want that. But that's just totally stupid. That's not how it works. But if I tell you you're guaranteed to make money by learning how to do a specific niche, everyone's like, oh no, that sounds hard. I don't want to do that. I'll just give up. I just want the shortcut list,
Yeah.
which doesn't exist.
Carolina says, tips for getting orders ready quick. I feel getting my packages ready takes me a very long time. They sell clothing and shoes.
Carolina, this is what I would do. I would pull up the dashboard of your sales on your phone. So I use the eBay desktop, which is ebay.com/sh/OVW. That's the seller hub. I click on the awaiting shipment and I just make one lap. So I would go, my items are all in order. So let's say I had number 1000, 1030, and 1060. I would get a bin, hold it in my left hand, walk around, get 1000, 1030, 1060, and I would go straight to the shipping station and ship them immediately. All in one row, all in one lap. I actually have a video on that. It's called like how I photograph, list, and ship 10 items, and it takes 41 minutes for me to do all the customer service, all the shipping, all the picking, all the photographs, all listing, everything. So for me, a 10 item store making $100 a day would only take me 40 minutes a day. So that's what we teach in this group, and what I teach on my channel is to try to make $100 in under an hour. But this is just the processing part. You still need to go out and find the items, research it, and do the front side. But the back side, the processing side, should definitely take less than 1 hour. So that's a really good question. Like, how do I improve the process? That's a great question. Like, so that's how I do it. Let me know if you have any more specific questions. But essentially, one lap, pull up the order screen on your phone. That's the way to do it.
It seems like they don't have things individually packaged or numbered, so that might be the issue.
So if your things are individually packaged or numbered, everyone starts that way. It's just pile on floor system. So what I recommend now, with what I know, is at least color coding, by color, then by type, then by category, then by brand. That'll be better than no system at all. But chronological, sequential, date-based, that would be best. Like this system doesn't work, but if you had a bin for every single day of the year, right? And 1 through 365, and you just listed, you could just easily go through and find it because they're in order. But that system doesn't work. That's why I recommend either a box system or a rack system.
Kane Z says, what are some good places to find stuff to resell? I currently only thrift at my local Goodwill. Lots of people don't like to resell stuff through Goodwill, sadly.
So I would do Goodwill, I would do Salvation Army, all mom and pop thrift stores, all garage sales, all Walmart, all Home Depot, online arbitrage. I would do auction sites. Local auctions are great. Government auctions are great. Shop Goodwill has its own website. You can go to Shop Goodwill online. You can shop the clearance section of all brands. You can shop the outlet. You can ask your friends and family. You can create a charity. There's a lot of ways to get inventory coming in. And remember, when you're small, thrifting is still the easiest because you don't need any overhead. You don't need a lot of space. You can just go pick, you can go to the thrift store and take home 2 items. Don't need to buy anything bulk, no boxes, no sorting. Don't have to take any items that need to be repaired. Every item that needs to be repaired or fixed, leave at the thrift store. So reselling is really nice. In the beginning, you can just go find 1 to 5 items at the store, go home, list it, and sell it. Next time, go out and buy 2. Next time, go out and buy 4. It's just going to cost you a little bit of gas money and a little bit of resolve on your phone to find the items in the beginning. Goodwill is a perfectly fine place to start. It's just a higher cost, so you have to look for a better item. So a lot of people will buy an item for 8 and try and sell it for 20. And there's a video I just made a week ago called how to make $10 profit. And if you buy 2 items at $8, right, and one of them sells for 20, you end up losing money. Most people end up losing money because some of their items don't sell. So don't make that beginner mistake and buy an item that might not sell. You want to have the problem of not having enough inventory. That's a perfectly fine problem, okay, because it doesn't cost you money to not have enough inventory. It's just you're not earning any income. You're not bleeding on the other side. If you keep buying inventory, your bank account keeps getting smaller, but you don't have any sales, that's horrible. At least if you can't find anything, your bank account stays the same, right? And eventually you find something, boop, your bank account goes up. So there's nothing wrong with not being able to find anything. There needs to be this shift away from that being a problem. Don't stop buying stuff that's questionable.
Eric Mitchell says, after I fix first initial listings and let them age a bit,
Yeah.
does eBay have a way to automatically take a listing and apply the over 90 day / 180-day discount, or do we have to run 45-day markdown sale?
I recommend doing it 45, 90, 180. However, they don't have an automated way to do that. What you can do is set up rules so that, like for yourself, on the 15th and the 1st, you go back in and adjust it. That's probably the easiest way to do it. But I recommend lowering your price or increasing your promoted listings pretty much every 30 days. That's a good way to do it. Going back and fixing old listings, there's a really, really, really powerful example, and I need to make this video, so I'm going to write it down. Okay, this is so cool. So in our group, a lot of people talk about delist, relist, right? So this guy was getting 4 sales a day, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 sales a day, listing around 10 a day or something. And then for some reason, he couldn't list, right? So what he did was he delisted the item, changed the item specifics, and then posted it again, right? So he was still getting sales, right? Which is where people get trapped. They're like, oh my God, I still get sales. I don't have to list. I can just relist, delist. But we saw an 80% decrease in traffic. Okay, so this guy was delisting, relisting 100 items and improving them. So not just delist, relist, but delist, improve, then relist. So brand new, he was doing the sell similar too. So brand new item number, right? He was still getting a couple sales a day, but the inventory was shrinking. So his number of opportunities to sell was going down. He was still getting a few sales a day, but he had an 80% drop in traffic. So he was like getting 100 impressions a day, 100 impressions a day, all the way down to 20 impressions a day. Now, here's the part that is really important. Let's see, he was selling some. Oh, getting the fresh item number, eBay still knew it was the old item. And that's the theory that we have in our group. Don't do that because you're wasting time. During the delist, relist process, you could have just listed a new item, right? So if you list your items correctly the first time, you don't have to go back and change them or delist, relist to begin with. And so essentially, instead of getting that 80% cut in traffic, your traffic remains the same up here. So that was really, really, really an interesting example because he was delist, relisting 100 items a day of the sell similar brand new item number, but the pictures were the same and getting 80% less traffic. So that's not, I do not recommend delist, relist. I don't recommend sell similar. All that in my book is all garbage. It doesn't work. It's a waste of time and it makes your hourly rate $1 an hour. So if you like making $1 an hour, then continue to do that. But I just did that math a couple of weeks ago. I think it posted maybe 2 Sundays ago. People, if you keep doing that, you're making such little money. I definitely recommend just having a garage sale once every 2 months and just making $50, $100. That's way more than $1 an hour reselling. That's really painful. And having an inventory system of stuff that doesn't sell, can't find things, defects on your account, like just you don't have to resell. You can just do it like casually with a small inventory under 100 items and not have all the headaches.
Laura says, question, do you sell Walmart and Target brand clothing?
Yes, so Walmart and Target brand clothing doesn't sell very well, but it still sells. I personally don't pick it up. I have experimented with it in the past and sometimes I get it for free. I would never spend money to resell Target or Walmart anymore because my threshold has moved up on what the minimum that I will sell. So to give you guys an example, I try to sell like a minimum Banana Republic, J. Crew, like stuff that's between $50 and $100 MSRP. Stuff under that is very difficult to make a living or to make a couple bucks. That stuff, in my opinion, you need to sell for under 5. If you really want to sell Walmart and Target, under 5 is the way to go. So that's a lot of volume to do again. So unless you're big, I don't recommend dabbling with Target or Walmart brands or even stuff that's lower end mall brand that's under $50 MSRP at the mall. I would stay away from it.
Jamal Wilson says, how do you deal with whatnot order cancellation requests?
Is if it's my fault, I will accept it. If it's not my fault, I reject it because there's no way to verify if your dog ordered instead of you. So because it's unfair and it's a no cancellation type website, then I just reject all of them that are not my fault. So it depends on the way that you want to do business. Personally, I don't accept cancellations unless we screwed up on the auction, and that's happened a couple times. I've sold 19,000 items on Whatnot, so occasionally we will miss a flaw, and I'll just take care of them. So either the two things that I do is I will either send them another item on a future order, which happens all the time, or I will ask Whatnot for me to accept a return. So I want the item back. I don't want to train customers to get a partial refund. If we screwed up, no problem. We'll take the item back, free returns. But I don't want to train people to get a partial refund because then they can just get in the habit of doing that. And that's, I think all sellers should accept free returns, and it'll make for a flat, more fair system. Because if you screw up, that happens to everyone, but you just got to take responsibility for it, and it eliminates a lot of fraud.
Robert says, how do you feel about selling books on eBay?
Books on eBay are great. Before we get into books, I want to suggest that on dailyrefinement.com, this is the last week that I have my inventory on there. So I don't have a lot of boxes left, so you guys can hop on there. The prices are really, really, really cheap, like $2 to $4 an item. And I want to sell the rest of my inventory this week, and if not, I'm going to put it on the Whatnot next week. So I'm not going to have any of these items on my website anymore. So if you guys want to get some really, really good deals, go to dailyrefinement.com, look in the store. So back to books. There's plenty of people in our group that sell books. We have the largest bookseller, I believe, in our group with 47 employees. And he's selling, I don't know, thousands of books a day on Amazon and eBay. And you have to get creative with how you do it. So I'm not going to give away the exact pricing strategies, but there are pricing strategies that make people buy books. So one common one that I see is like buy 3, get 1 free. I've seen that work pretty well. So that encourages me to buy 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 books from the same seller and get that combined shipping or a cheaper rate. And in our media call, which is on Thursdays, that's the heaviest call that we have in our mentorship because it has I don't know, $20 million a year seller in there and a bunch of $1 million sellers in there that talk about the strategies of getting people to buy. The book business traditionally is volume, right? Unless you sell textbooks or really expensive books, usually it's a volume game where you're buying pallets or truckloads and processing them. That's a bit more challenging, but books are the most common thing. It's what Jeff Bezos started with on Amazon. I would recommend selling books on Amazon. Everyone's ungated. They're going to have a much better price on FBA. So I recommend selling books or on Amazon, not eBay. But eBay is fine, and plenty of people in our group sell only media. They go to library sales, they go to Savers, they go to Goodwill. They know which books are new, and they scan. They maybe know somebody at the store. So books is a great niche. Also, if streamlined shipping, everything goes out the same way.
Andrew Fitzgerald says, my Achilles heel is sourcing. I do bins, but the percentage of $25 items is low in STL.
Yep.
Tried Plato's Closet style items, higher COG, but better sell price, but margins are low. Any ideas?
Yeah, I personally would play in the higher cost where I live. I'd rather go to Plato's Closet than the bins any day. But it depends on your level of risk. The bins is more challenging, right? Because you've got to be there all day. It's very competitive. But your cost of goods is going to be $4 or less. So $4 or less allows you to accept 12, 13, 14 ASP items. Even $8 plus shipping ASP is no problem as long as you move things fast. So ASP being low, there's a couple things to adjust. Like I said before, really low cost of goods or sell things fast, you can do low ASP. But what you can't do is low ASP and things sell slowly. It doesn't work. Things have to sell fast. And by fast, I mean like 30 days. If you're going to do sub $25 MSRP or average sale price, things have to move quick because it's so risky.
OC Sales Online says, are you penalized if you end an item on eBay because it's sold on another platform?
My colleague and I in the Facebook group, we speculate that eBay is mad at you, but we don't know because, like, why would, I mean, certainly they're not going to reward you for removing an item, right? So either it's neutral or they're mad at you. So that's like lose or break even on removing an item. So I don't see how they would be excited hosting your photos and giving you traffic, and then you're ungrateful and you sell it on a different platform. You know what I mean? That's why I'm not a fan of cross listing. That's why I'm trying to figure out, like, can I just get my eBay account back instead of listing on another platform, because all the other platforms aren't as good. So something to consider.
MD Black says, what is an ideal conversion rate for eBay sellers?
Depends on the item. So if you're selling $100 bills for $99, free shipping, I expect 100% sell-through rate every day. If you post $100 bills at $99 or even $100 free shipping, I will buy all of them. So you can just send me the link and 100% of them I will buy. As long as, well, I would have to figure out how to receive the dollar bills in a tax-free state. So I would have to buy a lot of them. So the problem with that model is you lose around $15 every $100 bill you sell. Because you buy it for 100, you can ship it to me in an envelope with a stamp. That's fine. That won't pass for the tracking, but it'll save you some money on the shipping. So you're buying, how much is a stamp? 52 cents. You buy a stamp, send it to me. So you reduce your shipping cost, but you're going to pay $15 in eBay fees roughly. So an ideal sell-through rate depends on the category. Discount gold, discount watches. If you sell a Rolex at half off, it'll sell same day. If you sell an airplane for $20, it'll sell same day. Ideal sell-through rate depends on the actual item, and I would say that ideal sell-through rate for the average seller is 2 years. The items that you're picking up, you should expect that item to sit for at least 2 years. The lady that was unable to sell her item even though she was discounting it, that's a perfect example. So we're talking about 2 to 3 years average sell-through rate for her on those types of items. The average sell-through rate on eBay is like under 5%. So that means if you have 100, you're selling 5 a month. That would be average. So most people greatly underestimate how long it takes because they're not spending that much time sourcing. They're like, oh, I source for 40 hours. What about I source for 5,000 hours? What's the difference between someone who's like, I look through 40,000 items, they look through 40. Who's gonna find more $30 plus items, right? The level of effort versus what people expect is totally off. You go to one garage sale, do not expect to build an eBay business, right? You go to 10 garage sales, still don't expect to build a big eBay. That's not enough. You've got to do the full effort. So unless you're out there pounding the pavement for 30 hours a week, don't expect full-time income. Just expect a lesser income. So it's not, like no matter how streamlined your business is, like for me, under an hour for processing, if I don't put in the work to find the items, there's no way it would work.
Lewis says, what's wrong with selling items at an average price of $12 to $15 if they're costing you $1 or less?
It has to be fast because otherwise it just takes up space. So if you're not going to sell things fast and you don't have this is what I think. I think people, I guess if you're not paying any rent and you're doing it at home and you don't mind paying the insertion fee, because every single month you either pay a store subscription fee or an insertion fee. If you don't mind donating that money to eBay every single month for items that don't sell, that's fine. The average sell price on eBay is only $12. So if you buy something for $1 and sell it for 12, that's still profitable, but it can't take 2, 3, 4 years because you would need tens or thousands of items to make a living. Okay, I actually did the math. In that video, for people like the lady earlier who said that she has to discount her items, she would need 100,000 items in her store to make a full-time living. 100,000. Her items sell so slowly that she would have to list like 137 items a day to sell 10 because of how long it takes, right? So if you're gonna be in that really long time items that are not desirable bucket, then you need 100,000 items in your store, That's the only way to do it, and I don't have enough space to do that. I can't even imagine a 100,000 item store. It's like, at my peak, I had 28,000, and that was 6 units this size, completely full. That was a grind. Like, um, I don't mind a lower ASP in our group. I call it the Linda model. She sells things at $15 and she makes about $4 profit an item. Her cost is about 50 cents, but her items sell fast. Like 100 items listed, she'll sell 40 a month easily, maybe half. So those items that she's finding for 50 cents are worth like 17, 18, 19. She does a really good job of marketing. They fly off the shelves. I love that model. It's just she's an expert. So most people who are just starting, I don't recommend that.
Bozo the Clown says, if you have a coupon running, a sale running, free shipping, and a discount for multiple items, then the item can't show all of those. Is having them all running at the same time overboard?
I heard this saying. What do you guys think? The person that can afford the most promotion always wins. Do you guys agree with that? Like, if you can afford free shipping, free returns, offer to watcher, coupon, markdown sale, volume discount, order discount, all of those. If you can afford all of those and still make a profit, do you always win? That's my question. This is a really important question. I wish I could do a poll because, like,
Yeah.
some people can't afford to discount their items at all. So they're super scared. Oh, I bought this for $10. I need to sell for $15 plus shipping. No offers, please. No offers. No, I can't have no returns. No returns. No offers. It's gonna take me 4 or 5 days to ship it because I need to package it really carefully and I need to film myself walking to the post office. I need to live stream it on YouTube and let people know I legit. It cannot be returned or I'll go out of business. I have to be super careful. I have to walk it to the post office because I might get in a car accident on the way and I can't afford a car accident. I don't know if that person can compete with someone that's like, return it for any reason. Free shipping, free returns, coupon, discount, coupon, everything. And I still make a profit. So when I heard that saying, I thought, maybe that person always wins. The person that can afford every single discount in the book, still make a profit. Like, does that person always win versus like someone who's so worried about every single thing happening? Because I feel like we're in a full contact sport right now. We're in this business world where I don't know, it's like war. You're competing against people who can offer every single discount. It's very hard to compete with them. Also, let me know, guys, if you guys can hear me okay. We're not using the lab today, just the regular mic. So hopefully you guys can hear us okay. But I don't know if you guys think that's a legit saying, but the person that can afford the most promotions wins. I don't know.
Alex says, Chris, where are your boxes of clothing listed for sale?
DailyRefinement.com. Thank you for that softball question. Yeah, so I only have, I think, around 13 or 14 boxes left. So once it's all sold, that's it. And then I'll only be selling fresh inventory that I pick myself. And I am in the market for a buyer. So I'm looking for somebody locally that can go shop for me. I know exactly what I'm looking for, and I'm kind of looking for a couponer. I'm not looking for someone who has an eye. That scares me. I don't want the eye. I want couponer. Somebody who really understands discounts, how to stack discounts, how to get coupons, how to, like, a lot of couponers are really great at reselling. Because here's the thing. You could get steak, right, for 90% off, but it's still a bad deal because it's Wagyu 10-year aged beef and it started at $500 and it's still $50 a pound. And that's difficult to sell still because most people don't have that budget, right? What I want her to or I say her because I feel like women are better at finding discounts, but like if you find something that's $20, right? And it's 20% off, so we can get it for 16, but it sells for 20 nonstop, there might actually be a business there, right? Because it depends on the item. And if she or he understands what's a good deal and what's not a good deal, then that person is the person that I'm looking for as far as a buyer. So everything else in my eBay, or my, I'm sorry, not my eBay business, not on eBay anymore. Everything else in my resale business is automated. So I just need stuff to come in. Right now, I'm doing all the buying. And for those of you trying to outsource buying, it's really hard. I've been doing this for a long time. I still have to buy all my items one by one. So I went to the Nike outlet last week and I looked through the whole store and I found 29 items that were profitable. How many people are willing to do that? At my level, I'm still in the store looking for 29 items, right? One at a time. What styles do I think are going to sell well? And guess what? Of the 29, one of them just broke even. So like that was a waste of time. 28 of them made a profit, one of them broke even. So like I don't know. It's like not that easy. I think that right now I'm really, really, really focused on trying my best to increase my average sale price. But then also I understand that once you get past a certain point, the average sale price starts to decline, starts to degrade down to, if you're the number one seller on eBay, your average sale price is $8 free shipping.
Tajia says, "Hi Chris, what should I do with stale inventory that isn't selling in my store? I want to make more space for new and better inventory."
Oh man, I haven't made a lot of videos on this, but we're going to. So this week, is it tomorrow that combined shipping comes out?
Yeah.
Okay, so guys, increasing your sell-through rate is two things. So everyone smash the like button and write this down. Two things have to happen for your sell-through rate to go up. One, your inventory has to go down, okay, which is what this question is. Is it Tajia? Tajia is saying, how can I reduce my inventory levels? So what I'm sort of recommending is the oldest stuff that you have, let's just aggressively discount it, maybe put it on auction if you want to sell through it, make through more inventory. Also, if you have a chronological system, it's nice selling the first items in the front because they're always closest to where you started. So it's nice getting all that space back. Maybe a garage sale, maybe redonating it, maybe selling it to another reseller. Reseller lots are very popular. So selling your old inventory is really, really important. So we talk on this channel mostly about how to sell things faster, right? But sell-through rate can go up if you just decrease the number of items you sell. If you sell 20 items a month with 200 in stock, that's 10%. But if you decrease your stock to 100, now you're selling 20% of your inventory each month, which is much healthier. So I'm a big fan of that question. I would say go to your oldest items, run a discount first. After you run a discount, maybe put them on auction. If they don't sell on auction, then sell them to another reseller. If you can't sell it to another reseller, redonate it. That's my plan.
Cash Flow Fam says, "I'm worried about quitting my full-time job because of medical coverage. Do you know how much or what company would offer medical at a low cost?"
Okay, so that's a good question. Here at my company, Daily Refinement Inc., I offer medical insurance. So from the employer perspective, it costs me like $730 a person. It's pretty expensive, right? So I'm sorry, that's what the coverage is. This is like middle of the ground coverage. So what I offer here is I'll pay half. So in California, under 50 people, you're not required to offer health insurance. But I offer 50%. I pay half, they pay half. It's quite expensive. I don't know if I would, depending on how much money you're making with reselling, if it's under $100 a day profit, I would keep your day job. So it's quite a challenge to make enough money to self-insure. To like, it's pretty straightforward though. If you create a company and you hire yourself, so what's this person's name?
Cash Flow Fam.
Cashflow Fam Inc. You work for Cashflow Fam Inc. and you pay yourself a salary of, let's say, $52,000 a year. Okay, let's just pay ourselves $2 per item. So you're listing 50 items a week all year, right? So you list 50 items a week all year. That's 26,000 items. You pay yourself $2 a piece. That's enough money now that you can pay for your own insurance. But if you're not listing 50 items a week or more consistently, you can't afford health insurance. So I would definitely not quit your day job. And this is something that I really want to focus my content on this. And I had an epiphany like 10 days ago, and I realized that my entire channel is just one big self-improvement channel. Like, it's like one giant course, right? And today's top lesson of the day is that I think people should earn at least $100 a day profit doing this. It's so much work. Please make $100 profit or more. It's so much to keep track of.
To make it worth it.
To make it worth it. Yeah.
Let's see. Carolina says, how much inventory is recommended to pay for a store on eBay versus just listing items for free?
I would say I call it the devil's store, 666 items. Because if you have like 665 items, it's not satanic. And you're selling 6 a day, which is 1%, times $15 profit, you're making $100 a day. That's kind of a store, in my opinion. So I want people to be making $100 profit a day. So under 666 items, it's kind of rough to be paying for a store subscription because you're not really fully utilizing it. But if you're making $3,000 a month, in our group, we believe that having an eBay store gives you greater visibility and you have options to run promotions and all the different things we talk about. Like the triple threat would be marking down your item, throwing in a coupon, offer to watch it, right? Can't do that without a store. So having the full set of tools is only available for store people. And if you're going to run a store, like, would you open up a store in the mall to make less than $100 a day? I wouldn't. It's so much work to got to go in there. You got to pay rent. You got to pay for insurance. In California, I have to pay workers' compensation, which is ridiculous. I have to pay 2% of salary. Like 2% of salary is ridiculous to me. Every $100, $2 goes to the state for all my workers, right? So that's a lot of cash. Depending on where you live, you probably don't have workers' compensation for literally one employee here. See, that's how much you're getting
There's
robbed.
the alarm, Gerald.
The alarm always comes on when something ridiculous happens, and I'm gonna get one of those like podcast sound
Sounds,
effect things, so I can do the alarm if it doesn't come on.
Yeah, we should record the
I should
alarm.
record the alarm. So when
And the train.
yeah, and the train, because me getting robbed it's not robbed. I guess I have workers' compensation coverage in case something happens to me, but to justify a store subscription, I want you guys to make $100 a day.
Justin says, as a part-time seller with a full-time job, when do you prep for Christmas sales? We sell video games and consoles.
All day, every day. I think it's Christmas all year. In the video game category, you're probably going to get a 15% price increase Q4. But I don't believe in storing the stock until then because I feel like your holding cost is more than 15%. So I'd rather sell a video game now for 30 than wait till December to sell it for 40. You can try to get one more cycle in. That's how I would look at it. So preparing for Christmas sales is challenging unless you're like Spirit Halloween and you try to make all your sales in 1 month, right? So Spirit Halloween is no joke. That is a very difficult, all year long planning thing. I don't think that they just September rolls around, they get out of bed and start working for the year. I think it takes all year to set up Spirit Halloween. I don't know if you guys have any experience working in a seasonal business. Do you literally go fishing the other 9 months? I don't know. I don't think so. I think you start preparing. You probably need to be preparing for Q4 right now. Like immediately stocking up more, buying more lots right now.
Molly says, can I change my whole store to accept returns, or do I have to go back to each listing?
You can use business policies and edit your whole store at the same time. You can also edit 500 at a time using the bulk tool.
Is that a store thing? Like you have to have a subscription?
I don't think so. I think you have to opt into business policies. I don't know if it's required for a store, but how many people watching my channel have an eBay store and don't have an eBay store? I feel like eBay owes me a $20 million check because of all the people who have an eBay store. Because of me, it's got to be tens of thousands of people. But
You should do a poll.
I know, I should do a poll. I wonder how many people have an eBay store and don't on my channel. But yeah, you can do business policies, which I'll probably. Actually, the business policies do come up on Tuesday.
Yeah.
In the video,
Yeah,
so
definitely.
we go over
tomorrow's video.
Tomorrow we go over the shipping, in the combined shipping, and in that same tab is where you would do the returns.
Let's see. Mike Camilo says, what coupon shipping deal do you offer to customers? I remember you spoke last week saying that it's very hard to sell through your inventory if it's all one-by-one sales, so looking to see what is best.
What was the first part?
What coupon shipping deal do you offer to
Oh, so we actually go over this in tomorrow's video. So
customers? Yeah.
in tomorrow's video, I recommend personally $9.99 for 2 or more items. Now I'm very aggressive because I want people to come in and buy 2 items. I don't want 1 item ever. I don't like that. I want people to buy 2 or more items, so I make it as aggressive as possible. $8.99 for 1 item, $9.99 for 2 or more items. Like when I was really running my eBay store, I had orders of over 10 all the time because people were taking advantage of that. 10 items shipped for $1 each. Does that make sense? Because $9.99 for 2 or more items, and I did that in the combined shipping rule. And the reason why I really like that is it develops a lot of repeat customers. People buy more items, less shipping, less storage, and this is the best part. I hate answering best offer. I hate it. So with the combined shipping discount, I'm trading them. You buy full price, I'll give you a discount on shipping. Deal? So I don't want to respond it. I hate responding to offers. So I actually have auto accept. If somebody offers me an amount, it'll auto accept. So that's the way I have to deal with it. I feel like if I, from personal preference, maybe I should change that. So the reason, because like I want to be, you guys tell me, do I seem like a grateful person or ungrateful POS? Because I feel like I should be honored that people send me a lowball offer, but I'm not quite there yet. I'm not quite there yet. Somebody sends me a $2 offer on a $50 item. I'm not quite there where I'm like, thank you so much for your $2 offer. How about 48, right? That would be like a more professional level version of me. I'm like, hopefully I don't seem ungrateful to you guys, but I try to be as grateful as possible, and I would love to be so full of gratitude that a $2 offer, I'm like, thank you so much for your interest in my item. Can you meet me closer to 50? How about 49.50, right? I gotta get there. I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. Gratitude.
Thanks for joining
Yep, appreciate
Michelle
everybody.
Smith for the Silver Channel supporter.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Yep.
Beth says, explain the difference between sell-through and conversion rate.
Okay, so this is the sell-through and conversion rate. You have 100 items in your store. You sell 20 a month. That's a 20% conversion rate on a monthly period. When is our sell-through rate video coming out? Is that Thursday?
That's Thursday. Yeah.
Okay, on Thursday I go over exactly what sell-through rate
very
is.
thorough video.
And guys, you have to be giving me, because right now the content is going to be on point because we're on a mission now to turn my whole channel into only being useful. So on Thursday we go over the sell-through rate, but I'll tell you right now the difference. Sell-through rate is how many items you sell in a set period of time. So in a 1 month period, if you sell 20 items out of 100, that's 20% sell-through rate. Conversion is different. So conversion, let's say I have 3 boxes, okay? This is gonna hopefully make sense to you. So right now on dailyrefinement.com, I have like 13 boxes for sale. A bunch of people from watching this video will go to my website, dailyrefinement.com. Those are called impressions. Okay, so it'll pop up. I've got jeans, button down, and old eBay inventory. So there's 3. Jeans, eBay inventory, button down. So 3, right? So now all 3 of these have a impression. So let's say you want jeans. You click on the jeans. Now that jean has a click. Okay, now the conversion rate is how many people who click on the jeans actually buy the jeans. So if one person sees it, one person buys it, that's a 100% conversion rate. So what you're doing on eBay is trying to improve the items that get more views. So I'll be able to determine, based on today's shout out, what's more effective. Button downs, jeans, or a medley of women's clothing, which is my eBay inventory. Which one of those 3 are more popular? So in my brain, right, because I'm more niched down now, it's actually better to buy all of one thing. The best deal for sure is 60 button-down shirts because all the same processing, less measurements for button-downs, right? But It has the lowest average sale price. Button-down shirts don't sell for as much as jeans, right? But button-down shirts sell for ship first-class mail and not priority. So there's definitely different things to weigh, right? As the eBay fees increase, it becomes more and more difficult to sell priority. More and more difficult. In a year from now, and I'm pretty sure in 1 or 2, you guys tell me what you think. I think in definitely less than 5 years, priority mail will be over $10. So if we're paying the eBay fees and promotions on $10, that's like $1.50 just for the eBay fee on $10 in priority shipping. So now you're paying $11.50 for priority shipping, which is a lot. So it's important for you guys to think about that. But conversion rate is how many people who click on it actually buy it. And sell-through rate is the entire month, how many people bought out of how many items you had.
Mm-hmm. Ethna says, question, is there a way to compete with giant eBay sellers like Second Sale? I sell books and DVDs.
Definitely. It's really easy to compete against Second Sale because they do a horrible job. When you're huge and you list 3,000 items a day, you make a lot of mistakes. Everything's one picture, no description. That's not a good experience. So small sellers crush big sellers. It's actually what big sellers complain about the most. How come, Edna?
Uh-huh.
Why can Edna come in here? What?
Ethna.
Oh, sorry, Ethna. Why can Ethna come in here, the audacity of her, listing an item the same price as us and her getting better placement? But here's the thing. If you have better pictures, better title, the same item, right? Better item specifics, same price, you'll probably rank higher. Probably, because it's a better experience for the buyer. So it's actually quite easy to outperform large stores because their metrics are horrible. They have so many variables, millions of item specifics in their store. It's not accurate. So it should be pretty easy. The only thing that's difficult is that there are some very small economies of scale to being bigger. It's not as much as people think, because I run a bigger store and you save a little bit on shipping supply, you save a little bit on shipping, but that's it. You can compete because you don't have a building, you don't have staff, you don't have to provide health benefits, you don't have to provide workers' compensation, you don't have to provide benefits. I mean, like, it's, when I've been to some big dog conferences and they always complain about how Ethnas of the world get any traffic. They're like, we have to invest millions of dollars to run our eBay business. Can't we have premium traffic? Ethna pays you guys like $20 a month. We pay you guys $200,000 a month. Can we please have a little bit more priority? And eBay says, nope. If she does a better job than you, she ranks higher than you. So it's interesting how eBay works. Mm-hmm. There's complaints from top to bottom.
Alicia says, I typically sell shoes, but want to add my handmade seasonal items. Can I list these with my regular items, or do I need another store?
Just list them all together. Everything, hodgepodge, right in the same store. Most people on eBay are looking for one specific item. So it's unlikely that they're going to want a handmade item and also a pair of shoes. It's very unlikely. Unless you say in the shoe description, check out my handmade starfish necklaces, but it's not really related to the shoe shopper. It's not. I'll give you a perfect example. One of the best stores I look at sells vitamins and also purses. Vitamins and purses, same exact store, and it's called The Luxury Life. So there's nothing to do with, like, The Luxury Life might be collagen and a new shoulder bag. Maybe they sell two of the same thing. I just think it's unlikely. I don't think they end up having the same customers.
But it's okay that they have it all together.
It's okay, and it's much easier to manage than more than one store. It's hard enough to manage one store. Mm-hmm. Appreciate everybody stopping by. Please smash the like button if you like this info. Mm-hmm. Shout out to my membership group, patreon.com/the Resellers Podcast, if you guys want to join. In there we have 20 live calls a week with a live coach helping you guys out. So if you have any questions, you can ask somebody live. We have a Facebook group, and inside there, if you have an annual subscription, you get the bonus eBay white papers, which is Tech and Sports and myself, with their little rundown of exactly the shortest, most profitable way to build an online store. So you can check those out as well. Mm-hmm.
We're at 59 minutes right now.
All right.
Maybe a couple more questions.
Yep.
Jamal says, question. I'm 19 years old and make around 4K profit per month.
Love it.
I also live with my mom rent free. Do you have any advice on what's next?
Is it Jamar or Jamal?
Jamal?
Jamal, okay. Yes. Okay, first off, it wasn't cool to live with your parents when I was younger. Now it is. So, what I recommend you do is get as many skills as possible. Okay, so right now when you're living with your parents, this is so cool. What I would do is I would recommend getting as many skills as possible. So, learning as deep of knowledge as you can in one specific niche will really, really set you apart. So my friend Prince, who you guys, I used to hang out with him all the time. He's doing really well now, but between the ages of 19 and 26, he made $700,000 profit. So in 7 years, he banked 100K a year. So what he did was he became a super duper duper expert in GoPros, and then he invested. He didn't spend any of it. He invested all 700K minus his car. He bought a cool car because he deserves it. He bought a cool car, but the rest of it went into other investments, and now he probably doesn't have to work again. So I didn't know that. When I was 19, I didn't realize that hyper focus sets you apart from 99% of people because no one does that. He only sold 6 products for 7 years. GoPro 1 through 6, that's it. So he just focused in on one niche, figured out all the suppliers. He grew his 4K to he was doing a couple $100,000 a month in sales. So he was up to maybe $40,000 a month profit. So I mean, I would just say keep reinvesting it into the same thing and getting all the skills. Learn about shipping, learn about logistics, learn about suppliers. Go meet people that have skills that you want to learn, and live with your parents as long as possible. Be as minimalist as possible, and try to do. I hope you're writing this down. Try to do long-term business with long-term people. Like that's all you need is a couple people that you do business with over a long period of time, and it will make you richer than you can't even spend the money, because the interesting thing about doing long-term business with long-term people is that it keeps paying off forever because you're long-term. So like even if you make $10,000 a year, but you're friends with this person for 20 years, that's 200 grand, right? And that's only $200 a week profit, right? I didn't say do the most profitable thing. That's not good advice. It's long-term things with long-term people. $200 a week is millions of dollars over the course of your lifetime, especially since you have the gift of time. So as 19, I would develop as many skills as possible. I also would try to get to 6K a month and save it. So Jamal, ready? I don't know if you can do this, but I love this challenge. If you can bump up to $6,000 profit saved and invested a month, it's a lot, okay? It's $72,000 a year. If you put $6,000 a month away into something that earns 7% interest, it's $1 million in 10 years. Okay, so if you 50%, let's just say you double your business to $8,000 profit, right? Anybody can double their businesses listening right now, at least one time. Get the $8,000 profit, live on $2,000, invest that $6,000 for 10 years. On your 30th birthday, you'll be a millionaire. That I didn't know that. When I was younger, I didn't know that I thought you needed to make millions to keep millions. You don't. Putting away $6,000 a month, you can become a millionaire in less than 10 years. And that's a 7% return. So it doesn't have to be the stock market. It could be real estate. It could be something. But there's a lot of investments that can earn 7% a year that are active, not passive. So you've got to get in there and do the work, right? If you buy a house that's a fixer-upper and you do the work, you just earned your money, right? So active income, not passive income. Just focus for 10 years on active income, reinvesting your skills, keep doubling up. And people always ask me, what is a reasonable amount to reinvest? I think at least 50%. At least 50%. You make 100, put 50 back into your business. Live as frugally as possible. Sell everything you own. Sell your couch. Sit on the floor. Just be really conservative in the beginning. And I wish I was making $4,000 profit and living at home. That would be so awesome. I was the moron that moved out as soon as possible, and until I started owning real estate, I rented. So like, what a waste. I wish I had stayed with my parents. So sorry, long answer, but I do want to take 4 more questions. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Andy Buckingham says, do you have any UK-based people in your Patreon?
Yes. So we have at least 200 UK people in our call. And Wednesday, what's the date?
It is August 8th.
Okay. Zahir. Somebody throws Z's channel in the chat. He does the UK-based call on Wednesdays. It's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon UK time. Oh, I'm sorry, it's 1 o'clock in the UK time. Sorry, trying to get my time zones. It's 5 a.m. here, 1 p.m. in the UK. So that call is going to be really excellent. I would say at least 10% of our group is in the UK. I don't know why that is. You guys let me know in the chat, why are there so many people in the UK in the group? We even have, is it called the Upper Highlands? Is that derogatory? People in Scotland and Wales? I don't know. Some people in the group call it the Upper Highlands. I don't know if that's accurate. Maybe I just made that up. But we have tons of people in the UK in our group. And a dedicated UK call. And if you guys are not in the UK, please don't talk during that call. Just listen.
Yeah, let them have
let them have their call, because all the other ones are US based. Actually, there's one Australia based call, one UK based call. So all the other calls are US based. So don't talk if you're not in those two zones.
Andrew says just Highlands.
Oh, Highlands. Okay, Highlands.
Let's see. AA has a question. Any advice to hit 100K in sales on eBay within 18 months?
Oh my goodness.
I feel like we have a video
all
about
these
this already.
Yeah, I would say that it's very reasonable to do 100,000 gross profit. Not really in the first year, because you have to reinvest. So I didn't continue to do this, but if they let me back on eBay, I think it'll take me 3 months to get from 0 to 15,000 a month. Okay, so the first year for sure, starting from 0, I would get to 100,000, but that's because I don't have to take the money out. So what I recommend, because we're going to let me know if this is something you guys want to do as well, but we're going to start doing a challenge to what to do as a reseller if you have debt, because some people are starting below 0. I think the average person getting out of college or younger has like between $7,000 and $70,000 of debt, personal consumer debt. So I'm going to start a series on that if you guys are interested. But reinvesting all of the money, it's going to take me 3 months to get to 15,000 per month. And that, I would say, if you reinvest all of your money and you have a 90-day sell-through rate, you should be able to hit 100,000 profit in, I'd say, 22 to 24 months. So it'll take you like probably 2 years if you didn't touch the money. But I mean, how many, do you guys know very many jobs that 2 years of experience you can make 100,000? I don't see it happening before that. It takes time to learn the systems and the niches. Unless your uncle Bob has a really good plug on PlayStations, it's really hard.
Saranga says, I am an Asian seller. Which
Yep.
items do USA people search for from Asian countries?
Oh.
Right now I am selling herbs.
Girl, I think they buy everything. I mean, the US is like the ultimate consumption machine. We buy anything. So I feel like 100% of the things that I use are made in China.
Yeah,
I think.
probably.
I think my watch, I have a Swiss watch. Everything else is made in Asia. But I might even switch to, well, my G-Shock is made in Japan. So, I mean,
You have some handmade stuff from here.
I have some handmade stuff from here, but
artisan
like,
stuff.
I think, what do people like to buy here? I made that video on the 15 top categories that people buy on, so maybe I would start there. There's a video on the 15 categories, but I think that, I mean, we buy anything. Herbs is good.
Let's see. Gustavo says, does the basic membership on Patreon give you access to the Facebook group?
It doesn't. So $4.99, you just get access to our 96 full-length podcasts. But I will tell you that in the 96 full-length podcasts, it does include the podcast Advanced eBay. So the Advanced eBay podcast, you can access for $5. It's a bonus podcast that we do. So we do a podcast every single Wednesday, plus sometimes we do a bonus one. And there's one called Advanced eBay. So if you're just getting started into our group, what I would do is join the Patreon at $4.99 and listen to that call. And if that call doesn't blow your mind, then we'll just give you your $4.99 back. But it's going to blow your mind, and then you're going to want to join the Facebook group. So the middle tier, and then at the annual middle tier, you get access to the eBay white papers, which is like the shortcut version of all this information because we have thousands of hours of content. And the eBay white papers is about 3 hours long of lectures. And after you listen to that, it'll be the like all the best greatest hits of our group.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we'll do 2 more.
Okay. Let's see. I had one just now. Where did it go? Wait, where did it go? Amanda, there you go. I was trying to find your question.
What's up?
Amanda, will one return slow your sales for several days?
No. One return or one item that is described usually won't tank your business. Just make sure you keep listing, keep doing a good job, and then just take care of the return as soon as possible. So don't let it linger. Mm-hmm. If somebody opens a return, immediately handle it. Don't let eBay close without seller resolution. That will harm your account if you are small. So just be careful, and then make sure. Another reason why people think I'm evil because I want you to make $100 a day. It's because you can absorb some of these issues, right? If your store only sells 10 items a month and you have 1 defect, that's 10% defect rate. But if your store sells 300 items a month and you have 1 defect, it's 0.3%, right? 0.3%, no big deal. If you're a good husband 99.7% of the time, sometimes she lets it ride, right? But if you're only a good husband 90% of the time, you might be alone soon. That's not a good enough ratio. So it's important, guys. Mm-hmm. We good?
Yeah, that's in there.
All right, guys. Appreciate you. Smash the like button. Consider subscribing. Join the Patreon group. See you next week.
Thanks for hanging out.
Bye.